Welcome to a DropTent Media Production.
Geoff in the mirror on some non-stop chops. I'm gonna leave it in the beaver
bag is probably getting a buzz.
Oh, dude, you kidding me? Britt's on fucking cloud 9 right now just because I have them in my possession. But yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. They're chill. This is why I think the other day when I was drunk, I was so aggressive about them. I think I was like, what if we ate 17 of them because I'm not feeling anything?
Dude, that's how I ate 10 hits of acid for the first time.
Oh, no. You shouldn't have done that. What do you mean? Like, you were like, it's not working?
Yeah.
You're like it's a fucking Pez dispenser. You're like, I don't know, dude. It's pretty good, I guess.
No, it wasn't working. And then when I got to like 4 or 5, I was just like, it's working, but like, there's no bad vibes. Like, I was just like, I don't know, dude. It felt like they were like, stay a night in the haunted mansion. I would like finish the night, and I was like, there wasn't like a single ghost, dude. I could do like a fucking week here, honestly.
You know how dangerous of a mindset that is? Like, you were like, you were just eating acid and being like, there's only good vibes right now. I don't even see any bad vibes on the horizon. I should just do more because everything's going well right now. Like, imagine if I was just eating one steak and I was like, this is a good steak. Everything's feeling good. This is amazing. And then I ate 10 steaks. My body would have been like, we didn't warn you right away, but this was a terrible mistake. We are now in DEFCON 5.
Dude, the Grateful Dead comes on. It's Casey Jones. Wait, trouble ahead, trouble behind? What the fuck's going on? I didn't see any trouble when I ate those doses.
Yeah, dude, I actually really think the soundtrack to your trip will determine your trip.
Oh,
you
it will, for sure.
Like, there's no ifs, ands, buts about it. Like, if somebody, I sort of got somebody walked into a room one time while we were on acid, and they walked into the room, said, hey, and somebody just goes, no, and points like, get out. Like, just goes, no. Like, as in, like, your vibe is not it right now. And they just walked in the room, and I was like,
well, dude,
what?
When the door opens,
like,
it swings open. It feels like an Edgar Allan Poe poem all of a sudden. You're like, fucking nevermore, dog. Fucking get the fuck off my stoop. Fly away.
All I can tell is I'm like, well, this guy was able to detect some type of power levels that I wasn't able to. So I'm just going to trust him. You got to go.
He's a level 7, I guess. So, you know, I can't argue with a level 7. I'm level 4.
Senses went off, dude. I'm not even on that level. Spidey senses? I just want to do enough acid to have Spidey senses.
I can't commune with bugs.
Dude,
I'm over here.
If Spider-Man got high, dude, his Spidey senses, paranoia would just be like, dude, I don't know. I think there's a lot of danger in the world for thinking
the world's
about it.
A scary place. No, dude, I fucking love that.
If there's a giant and he wants to step on me and squish me, like the metaphor that he's a superhero.
Dude, when people talk about acid, no one ever talks about how it's like an incredibly narcissistic drug. Like, people dress it up as existentialism, like, oh my God, we're all me, so only I matter because we're all me, you know?
Right.
And so like at a music festival, I feel like that's when you can really start to like, I don't know, everyone looks like an ant farm to you. Did you have that experience at all, like Firefly?
What do you mean, an ant farm? Like, just like, oh,
there's just all these people who you'll never meet, and you're just like already in your own head feeling like everything's through your God eyes. And like, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I'll
you have
never
a
forget.
level of energy. I feel like you either are so unbelievably confident in things, or like you can't do things because everyone cares, especially you. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no. One of the memories that still comes into my head to this day, like randomly, and just makes me laugh out of nowhere, is being at Camp Bisco, just all my friends tripping our balls off, and we realized that music festivals are just roller coaster tycoon in real life. It's just like pick you up, move you away from your friends. Everybody's like fucking waddling, dude. It's like, how much do cheeseburgers cost? $40.
It's just like Nintendo Wii, where all the Mii's are, and you're like, you're going bowling today. You're like, I didn't want to go bowling. They're like, well, guess what? Now you have different hair. You're like, why do I have different hair?
Yup, you have a bad relationship with your parents now. Like, how? Like,
you rolled a 120 in bowling. That's awful. This is a video game.
You can do better in Wii Sports, okay, kid?
There's such a stupid bit on Parks and Rec, but I just liked it because I think Paul Rudd's character as Bobby Newport's funny.
Yeah.
Just when he's in his rich house and there's a bowling lane and he's playing Wii Bowling on the TV next to his bowling thing, and they're like, why aren't you just playing that? He goes, what? Oh, I like this one. The guy looks like me. That's not good rationale, dude.
The guy looks like you in bowling because it's you. That's like how fucking you watched Feud, right? You were actively voting against me.
Yeah, I was.
If any listeners don't follow Lemaire Lee, has been a guest, good homie from the Alt Black podcast. Go follow him on like Facebook and shit. He runs an awesome show called Feud. Yeah, shout out Lemaire Lee. No, fucking Feud is a sick ass little game show of bad opinions. And Cody got people to agree that the Wright brothers were responsible for 9/11.
Here's the deal. Cody, in a game of creating scenarios and selling something and trying to give off why this makes sense and coming up with bullshit logic, Cody's weirdly very impressive. It's a great skill. You even at one point within the show were like, I honestly didn't expect you to do so well on my best project.
Yeah, no, 100%. And also, I kind of wanted him to have that point because I knew the 9/11 thing was on the docket. I was feeling confident in it, and it was too funny to not get into, dude. And I have some very, very harsh feelings on the Wright brothers in general. Like
what?
Oh, they fucking put wings on a bicycle because they thought that helicopters were cool, which were only a theoretical idea that some French guy just like drew up, and they saw like a picture of it, and they were like, what if we did that to our bike that we love so much? And then it worked.
Yeah, so what? That's fine. Who gives a shit, dude? Are you kidding me? Listen, dope. You need that because here's the deal.
It shouldn't have worked.
Bro, the best inventions were accidents. We all know that, dude. We all know the best. Cookies made by accident. I eat 48 cookies a week. That's something I do. You guys could probably tell. Now,
so like state quarters for him. He only believes in the continental U.S. though.
Dude, but the Wright brothers just put on some wings on a bike. That's not bad. They had a lot to lose. Imagine the first guy who tried to put balloons on his chair and he fucking floated away and died. He was like, man, I did not even record.
But it should have been that.
I know. But
yo, what's funny is I actually did do research for that shit.
Imagine being on a lawn chair, though, hypothetically, suspended in the air by balloons that you know could just pop. And you're like, well, couldn't land on this. Couldn't land. It's nothing. This is the least secure vehicle. It's basically a surfboard, but weaker. You know what I mean? Like, this is terrible.
You got to start like popping them like one at a time, lowering yourself at your own. You got to do something.
And then it goes fucking. You pop one on the left too hard, and now you're dipping and you're sliding, and now the balloons can't hold you up because you're a little bit heavier than you thought you were.
Gained a little weight.
Because you eat 42 cookies a day, and
God, that number's growing. Dad, Jesus ain't taking the wheel when you're on a fucking lawn chair. Though I actually have seen some like fucking like redneck ass like homemade hoverboat things that look sick.
What do you mean, like a hoverboard but for water?
Yeah, they turn like their lawnmower into like a hover lawnmower.
Oh,
like
okay.
I wish I had so little going on in my life that like I wanted to do that.
Yeah. Dude, that's what like people are like, dude, I do Rubik's Cube artwork. And I'm like, I couldn't even begin to try to figure out what you do. And then like somebody else was like, well, I actually took a ping pong ball and in quarantine I set up 86 pans in my aquarium and I was able to do the entire intro soundtrack to Game of Thrones. And you're like, what?
Wait, is that a video?
What? No, that's a fucking probably a hyperbole. But that's what people be doing. People are like, I've completed all of the video game soundtracks by doing ping pongs off of pans. Like, yeah, people do that shit. And you're like, what are you doing? What are you doing today?
Dude.
Did you wake up and say, did you wake up and go, we're going to do the Zelda soundtrack in ping pong form? Or did you just go, why don't you hand me that pan over there? Let's see what we can get into.
That's why the best artists are assholes. Because if you have friends, you don't have time to do like a one-man recreation of Forrest Gump. Like, you can't do that. Like,
I would totally do a one-man recreation of Forrest Gump.
Do you think your girlfriend would let you do a one-man version of Forrest Gump? No, she would want to be in it. You have too many friends. You have too many connections.
I actually thought, because you thought I wouldn't be able to nail his level of IQ. And I thought no, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Dude, in Tropic Thunder, they say it. They're like, listen, Forrest Gump, sounds retarded, acts retarded, not retarded. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. playing
Never go full retard.
Never go full retard. This is what I'm saying. But I don't know if I'm no Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm no Woodsy Gilbert Grape, dude. I'm not kidding. To be able to put on a performance and have the confidence to do what Leonardo DiCaprio did at like 13 years old, just, you know what I mean? That's I don't know if I could ever take a role like that. I think I'd be like, well, it feels like I'll probably mess it up and then never work again. So I think I'm just gonna play Star-Lord's sidekick in this fucking Guardians of the Galaxy fucking 3.
Dude, that'd be tight.
It'd be super tight, dude. I could play like a pretty wide range of superheroes.
What role do you think you would be best for?
Probably like young Wolverine.
You think so?
Yeah, I think I'd be really good at young Wolverine. Like,
Nothing about you really says young.
Yeah, no, but like if we're going off the Hugh Jackman movies and they're like, we need to show, like, did you see the Solo, like Han Solo movie?
Yeah. Well, I didn't see it, but I know it.
Okay, well, regardless, that actor isn't young. He's like 26, 27 years old, but he's 27-year-old Han Solo. So you're like, sure, I guess I can believe this. I don't know. It's not really young Han Solo, but like you definitely like
Dude,
should be, I don't know, have a house, family, something, right?
you know how Spider-Man did like the Spider-Verse thing where it's like, oh yeah, all these different universes Spider-Man. So now like fucking, you know that Marvel's gonna do.
Would be Wolverine Pig, I'll fight you.
No. That actually is an excellent point though. You would be a new hero called the Feral Hog.
I'd roll in, I'd be like, sup fellas. Like, do we know you? I go, I don't know. I just kind of all know each other. I've only been here a week.
they activate the slop signal to call you.
Like, I don't know, maybe whatever you guys are thinking.
Yeah, I got a 29 to 49 sidekicks, so
I probably wouldn't be a sidekick though because I'm such a massive.
No, I was gonna say that, like, you know that comic book movies are gonna break into this, like, oh, we're just gonna do the parallel universe Batman shit now.
Yeah, they should.
We should just make parallel universes of like the real world and make it a movie.
Like of superheroes or of current situation? Like
current situations, dude.
Oh, okay. I thought so less fun than superheroes.
Well, I mean, it could be super.
There's a reason that they're like $400 million industry, you know what I mean? A movie or something, but it's whatever. I mean, whatever. You guys want to do a fucking, I guess, about cultural.
There is. It's peer pressure and marketing.
No, I know. No, yeah, of course it is, dude. Because they're like, listen.
You literally can't fit in anymore if you don't go.
Do we have a story for the superhero? No. But we have a title, and we're guessing it's going to be worth $500 million. What do you guys think?
Captain Marvel, the woman.
And somebody just was like, I actually love it. Holy shit, I've actually already donated everything to it. So is there a way we could CGI Samuel L. Jackson to be younger? And Samuel L. Jackson was like, I don't need CGI, motherfucker.
Have we talked about the fucking Pete Davidson thing on the cast? The new movie?
Pete Davidson thing.
The movie
I
with
haven't
Bill Burr.
seen it. Haven't seen it yet. I think we talked about it. I think we said the only thing we're
yeah.
The fact that Judd Apatow's making a movie about him is kind of crazy because it's definitely
Bill Burr, great example. No Friends, great comic.
Great comic. Actually, he had friends, except his friends were very mean to him, and that is why he is so funny because he grew up with people like Patrice O'Neal.
That's why I'm going to be great.
Dude, you know what I was thinking about the other day? I was thinking about my comedy goats, and 4 of my top 5 African American comics. Isn't that interesting?
Very brave of you.
It's not brave. Why? That's not brave of me.
No, I'm just busting your balls. Who you got?
Bill Burr is my favorite. Bill Burr is my favorite comic, but I think Bill Burr. Let me think. What was it? Bill Burr, Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, Dave Chappelle, Patrice O'Neal.
I love all of them because I feel like literally none of them tried to have like a specific audience. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Obviously like a lot of those are African American comics who are popular in the African American community, like fucking.
But also just fucking super.
But no, like they spoke like through that. Like those, obviously those are all like Mount Rushmore comics. Those are like
exactly those are Mount Rushmore comics. I think. I don't know, like when people always talk about throwing Carlin in there or stuff like that, I always lean more like when people, I feel like a random common argument just because of time and status is like Carlin and Pryor, right? And I always leaned Pryor. I just think Pryor was.
I agree with that.
Do what he was able to do, like to say and break barriers at the time of what you were allowed to say and be like the opposite of like a Bill Cosby guy. You're like, oh shit, whoa, look at you, dude, fucking nice. This is funny. Carlin's like, I think really deep, and I'm gonna put out like 86 hours of comedy. And you're
Well,
like, okay.
so this is kind of like a weird take. I actually think that Carlin is kind of like the Joe Rogan of his time, where he opened up a lot of people's minds to things that they probably could have seen on their own, and he didn't put that much emphasis on the joke writing so much as just like his platform and his premise. Right. I think he would have been one of the greatest podcasters of all time.
I thought about that watching. I was watching one of my favorite Joe Rogan bits. I like had to YouTube it because I was like, and it was about the Draw Muhammad contest held in Texas, and it's just a funny bit. But I remember like as I'm watching it, like now being a comic and stuff like that, you watch it and you're like, about 45 seconds before a punchline was thrown in, kind of feels like a pretty long-winded joke for a second here, Joe. And then you know what I mean? Like you're just kind of breaking it down. Where you're like, okay, we get it. You're just kind of really harping on the fucking ideology and the premise of this whole thing. You could just probably throw in a punchline here though, because it kind of seemed like you're explaining it a little too much. And then you're sitting there, you're like, am I critiquing Joe Rogan like a fucking loser because I looked this bit up because I like this bit?
Yeah.
But like, and then meanwhile, I'm like, not enough laughs per minute here. You know what I mean? Come on now, guy. Let's get.
Yeah, and who the fuck are you? But also like, yeah.
No one. And I would never say that to him. And even if he was like, "Do you think I should?" I'd be like, "I think what you do is, I mean, whatever you're doing, man. It's you gotta be you."
Awesome. God though, yo, you bring up Patrice. If Patrice had a podcast, it would be so fucking funny. Dude. It would be so fucking funny.
But Patrice would. I mean, Patrice would be up there with all of the best currently right now. Like. Without having to waver whatsoever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
Like Bill Burr's when releases fucking 5 Netflix specials. Dave Chappelle's winning Mark Twain awards and stuff like that. Patrice O'Neal's there with all those guys. Like if he's still around today, he's probably, if anything, in the fucking real podcast world because he just thrived so well on Opie and Anthony and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. He would murder it. He would easily have, like, other than Rogan and Maron and Carolla and stuff like that, he's right there too, probably, if he had his own podcast. Guaranteed.
I think it would be a must listen. And you know, we got fucking
podcast, dude. Now I didn't even realize I needed that in my life, and now I need that in my life,
dude. And frankly, like, I'd love to hear his take on everything going on today, man. I feel like he could fucking unite a lot of people and like have some pretty hot takes.
Did you see Killer Mike's speech on George Floyd's death?
No, I saw comments on it, so I knew it was something I needed to Google, but I didn't actually see it.
It was really good. It was a really good speech, but I saw people getting upset at his shirt.
And what was he wearing?
His shirt says in the corner of like where my pocket tee is, like in this same space, it just says "Kill your masters," and people were like, "Go, dude, that's offensive." And I was like, "Why?
To who? To masters?"
I remember, like, dude, any person that commented, I was like,
Ash Ketchum's like, "Yo, what the fuck, dude?"
Go like a mirror to be like, do you see yourself right now? Do you see yourself? Did you just see what you just? Hey, that doesn't offend me because it don't apply to me. You know what I mean? Like, that's not the fact that you would comment and be like, not really a big fan of that shirt though, bud. And it's like, hey, he's talking about how he's not really a big fan of police brutality against African Americans, but please complain about his shirt. But please complain.
No, that you're right. That's fucking great to look at it and be like, I'm a master.
You know what I mean? Like, because they probably looked at it and were like, he's saying kill white people, and you're like, no.
No.
Felt guilty about your specific.
Dude, that's a bait, dude.
White person.
That's a fucking bait. If a white person responds to that shirt, it's like, oh, you thought you were my master, dude? My dog made this shirt. My dog made this shirt, dude.
You're right. It's kind of a brilliant shirt, though. Lets you know who's really with you. You know,
dude,
like if you're like
that's a master bait. That's a master bait if I've ever seen one, dude.
If he's just like, listen, man, I believe in everything you're standing for, everything you believe in. The shirt's a bit much. It's like, what the fuck did you just say? And you're like, no, I don't know. No, I don't know. Was that no? And you're like, yeah, no, dude. Why does that offend you? It's like his shirt might as well say kill anybody that owns slaves, and you being like, all right, bro, I mean, it's a little harsh. Like, no, it's not. No, it's not.
It was a different time. My grandpa, like, I swear.
Dude, some of these people are out of their fucking minds. Like, do you see these people, like these people that post these racist comments and all these terrible things, and then people are screenshotting them, sending them to the colleges that they just got accepted to, and the universities are going, "Oh, you ain't coming to this school anymore." And you're like, do you guys not understand how the internet works? Like,
oh my dude,
you don't have to openly be racist on the internet. That's not a requirement.
Well, it's so weird because with the internet, it actually swings both ways, where you have people who expose themselves, but then also information is everywhere. So now all of a sudden, the racists, they literally, it's like somebody gave them the like fucking World War II codes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like they can literally like blend in so much, and it's only until you trick them with some like complex fucking camouflage like those fucking radar ships that you're like, yeah, kill all masters, and they're like, that makes me sad, and you're like, oh ho, ho.
Did you see what Trump said earlier?
What?
I mean, I can't. I don't understand, Rusty, how he could make a pedophile with dementia feel like the better candidate. I don't understand, but he is. But he literally was like Trump's message to African Americans, and it was like, "What else do you have? You live in poverty. Like 70% of your youth doesn't go to college," and you're like, "You can't. This isn't a press conference. You don't. You say this at the country club, maybe." You don't say this here. You don't say this in the moment when everyone's going, "Hey man, we're kind of looking at you to kind of give some type of message here amongst all the, goddamn African American oppression and terrible police brutality." And he's just like, "Here's the thing, you guys, the statistics are not in your favor." And you're like, "No, it's not. No." Dude, I don't even know, like, whoever's in charge in politics. If you don't think there's a guy there,
dude,
let me read this to you real fast. I just
Good.
pulled this up.
Yeah.
U.S. president. This is from I guess like a little bit earlier today. I guess in one way or another, he proclaimed that he has done more for the African American community than any president since Abraham Lincoln.
Okay, stop right there let's take a pause for a second on that comment alone, Evan. Okay, so he's saying that he was a better president for African Americans.
Oh, he tweeted
than
this.
Obama.
He tweeted this. Yeah.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
Then Obama. All right. Not only that.
Whoever ended segregation, which I don't remember because I don't pay attention to history.
Muppet, dude.
Dude, first of all, it's like he heard Joe Biden go, "You're not black if you don't vote for me," and he's like, "I think I can one up it. I think I can get these motherfuckers. I'm a better president for you guys than Obama was." And you're like, no, don't press send.
No, dude,
don't press send.
I have to imagine that like he just like compromises with his like PR person, and he really wanted to type, "I'm black," and they were like, "You can't say that. All right, you can't say that."
I'm not even political. I could give a fuck about politics. He makes it impossible to, like, anybody who was like, "Listen, all right, I understand he's got his flaws, but he's good for the economy. He's not a politician. At least we're bringing in outside the box businessman, try to boost this economy." And then you're like, "Oh my God, I think we have to can we just reset the game? Because 2020 has been shit. I'll hit the reset button and start the game over."
Yo, I made a fucking timeline 6 months ago. The biggest issue in the world was that Australia was on fire.
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
Later that month, a U.S. fucking base got bombed. Then Kobe died.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was the Donald Trump hearing.
Mm-hmm.
And then Corona started overseas, but we still didn't give a shit until March.
Mm-hmm. And then murder hornets. And then UFO declassification. And then, like, dude, it hasn't
and then the murder of George Floyd, turning into protests, turning into riots, turning into the fucking National Guard getting deployed, and Trump just like gassing people, dude. It's been something that would define a year every single month.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And again, it's a little bit of a perfect storm because you got to think too, rioters are a little more antsy because they've been in lockdown for months.
Actually, kind of a hot take I've been spewing is that we all knew that in our hearts of hearts that riots and eventually looting were going to happen in quarantine. I'm happy that it's a two birds, one stone, and that we're at least channeling it into it. Yeah, exactly. But I also think by that same token that it's kind of shitty that the government, who was already deploying the fucking National Guard like months ago. You know what I mean? They was afraid of riots months ago. They knew this would happen, and now they just have this whole thing to pin it on the black community, which is insane. Like that's why it's good that there's such a strong showing of solidarity, that this is not going to get swept under the rug. No, this will not go down in history as like, because of the quarantine, people know what this movement stands for. And I that is a super positive thing. Even considering, like, that's what I keep telling the people who are like, but they shouldn't be looting. And it's just like, yo, this is going to happen anyway. I'm happy that it's getting a good point across.
All you got, the only thing, like, when people are like, yeah, and again, the actual voices like Killer Mike and, like, you know what I mean, are saying like, yeah, you don't need to burn down your city. Like, that's not the way to do it.
You know, like authorities on peaceful protests, like Killer Mike.
And but you say like,
Killer Mike, Murder Joe,
to burn this shit down. But at the same time, we tried to quietly take a knee. Y'all had a problem with that. So it is what it is. And again, as much as you want to say, this is terrible, you gonna say it didn't work?
I mean,
because I'm gonna say it was very effective.
Abdul-Jabbar said it the best the other day. He doesn't agree with it. I don't agree with it. But what else is there?
It's
not right, but it's not wrong.
Brandon Mitchell had a great tweet about it too. Yeah. Brandon Mitchell said, listen, like, all you motherfuckers that are getting mad about it, you guys are the same motherfuckers that burned down the city when the Eagles won the Super Bowl. And I was like, it did feel cool then. It did feel cool then. Yeah. I can't even,
And it actually means something now.
There. Like, if the Eagles won the Super Bowl and someone's like, do you want to fucking set a police car on fire? I've been like, fucking do it. I'm not going to like the match, but I'll be right here with you. You know what I mean? Like, and
I'll buy the matches.
So if someone's like, do you want to set it on fire?
You don't buy matches, they're free.
Well, you buy a pack of cigarettes and you get some, smoke them after the car's burning. But no, I think an analogy for it would be, oh crap, I might have just lost it. Go on.
Apologize. All right, well, here's the deal. Good. Did you see McKeever's tweet?
No.
Great one. Still don't think CTE is real? Drew Brees just forgot he plays with a bunch of black guys. Did you see what Drew Brees said?
No, I didn't see any of this. This is amazing.
Yeah, dude, fucking Drew Brees basically almost got canceled today. Is getting, I don't even know. Like, Drew, like, they asked, do you think you're gonna start seeing a lot more players take a knee during the national anthem? And he, among saying other things, but basically said, I don't think it's acceptable for anybody to disrespect the flag or our country. And people were like, nah, bro, this ain't it. Like, dude, you're still not fucking getting it, and you're a part of the problem. And you're like, think that it's still at this point standing for, like, they're not named to disrespect the heroes, dude. That's not what this is. Like, it's on the biggest of stages. It's a cry for help. It's a plea for help. And it's like, you can't ignore us anymore, because this is like, you're not going to ignore us on the most televised thing in the world, which is football. This
is international no nuance week. And even as somebody who loves nuance and argument, like, this is not the time for it. It is fucking checking your papers.
No devil advocate.
No.
Can I read this real fast
It is, let me see your fucking peppers. Like, fucking prove that you're with us.
Yeah, so go ahead, Ev.
Yeah, so, and I'm going to read some of the things that people, other pro athletes have said back to him. I think Drew Brees might be canceled. He should probably retire. I will never...
At least try to retire, because here's the deal. Those motherfuckers play a sport where they coming after you.
Yeah.
So now it's not like you said this as a tennis player, bro.
And I bet you half
of Roger Federer probably has some strong opinions on this, though.
50 years old, and you're talking crazy. And here's the deal. Again, it's one of those things, like, Drew Brees, do you know how beloved you are? Do you know in New Orleans, Louisiana, how many black people love you? And you fucking are like, unacceptable. You're like, God damn, Drew. It's not fucking.
All right, so I got this here for you. I will never agree with anybody disrespecting the flag of the United States of America or our country. Let me just tell you what I see or what I feel when the national anthem is played, and when I look at the flag of the United States.
So, yeah, Brees said that. And then you got people. Dude, so first of all, Drew Brees is #1 wide receiver throughout his career.
You don't know no better.
Michael
what he said.
Thomas said he don't know no better and was like, so again, this is your guy. This is your quarterback. The reason that you might go into the Hall of Fame is because this guy has thrown you fucking balls your whole career and they've been money and you've been working with a Hall of Fame quarterback. And that guy was like, nah, bro. Malcolm Jenkins, who was on the Eagles, is now on the Saints, is teammates with Drew Brees. They were teammates before he was on the Eagles, and now they're teammates again. And he put a whole thing out there, and he was like, listen, Drew, it makes me sad because I respected you, I loved you, but you need to shut the fuck up. And you're like, yup. Dude, shut the fuck up. It's not a time for this.
Kenny Vaccaro called him out on it.
On either side.
Go
ahead.
LeBron actually wrote a pretty good one.
LeBron was upset.
LeBron, and rightfully so.
Absolutely so.
Wow, man. Wow, man. Is it still surprising at this point? Sure isn't. You literally still don't understand why Cap was kneeling on one knee? Question mark. Has absolute nothing to do with disrespect of the flag and our soldiers, men and women who keep our land free. My father-in-law's my father-in-law was one of those. That's how that ends there. He like, what the fuck? It was never about the flag. It was never about the army. It was never about the Navy. It was.
Here's the deal. At first, and if you don't know what's happening in the very beginning, the first time Cap kneels, if you don't know what it's about and you just see Colin Kaepernick didn't stand for the national anthem, in your head, you are designed and raised to go, it's disrespectful. We always stand. We take off our hats. This is a respect thing. Well, that's kind of weird and disrespectful. And then you go, no. Find out what it's for. Find out what's happening. Find out what his motive is. It's not like he took a shit and burned the flag in the middle of the beginning of the game. That would be like unbelievable. Well, you shouldn't knee during the national anthem. Half you motherfuckers have your iPhone out during it. You're filming right now. You're taking pictures. The jets are flying over too while the national anthem. You don't think that's disrespectful? Do you think that people, when they founded this country, were like, I hope this doesn't end up on Snapchat when I'm fucking trying to, sing that the bombs are bursting, and you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make any sense. You're picking and choosing when it's disrespectful.
No, but that's because they have goldfish brains, and no, seriously, and it defaults to that, and it's on both sides of the fence too. Like my fucking Galaxy Pants up there, she fucking showed me posts from people she knows who were like hula hoop spinners and like fire twirlers and shit, and they're going to the protest trying to be like, oh my god, it was such an honor to be able to perform my art for these brave protesters, and it's like, dude,
You're there for you. You're there for you.
You might as well be on the fucking other side of the riot shields at that point. Yeah. Because the whole point is like fucking stop like taking advantage of it. You know what I mean? I don't know.
No, it is. So here's the thing. Like it's a classic
and it's a serious epi. I'm sorry for anyone who wanted to get a distraction. The world's a serious place, dude. Fucking welcome. Fucking welcome outside of the uterus,
dude,
boys.
With all of the storms happening, the military just getting like mobilized immediately, the pandemic happening, and all this stuff, UFOs getting declassified. It feels like Trump is just Sansa Stark. Like they were like, here are the government secrets, and he's like, here's the deal. We're going to throw tornadoes and tear gas at the protesters, and we're also going to say that UFOs are real to try to throw people off from the fact that we accidentally released a toxic chemical that is killing everybody. And you're like, dude, who gave
the idea of Trump being like forcibly married away and clawing his way up the political tower to be president is pretty intense.
Dude, and then you sit there and you're like, we wanted John or Daenerys or someone, and they were like, so Sansa's kind of the Queen of Winterfell. And you're like, okay, well, not really. We weren't really hoping for
She's
that.
Not queen.
Not really the ginger I was kind of hoping for, in this situation. It wasn't really my first choice, And Trump's just out here. Dude, we're 2 days away from Donald Trump just randomly throwing out there, we killed John F. Kennedy. We killed him. Here's the deal. He wasn't doing the best job. They needed a new guy who's going to do the best job. We killed him. And you're like, did you just say the government killed John Kennedy? He's like, we did it. We were the best at doing it. We're the best at killing our own leaders. And you're like, no, dude, you're not doing it right. Oh,
dude, no, it's scary. He literally my favorite fucking one of my favorite YouTube channels anyway, Legal Eagle. He just looks at courtroom shit on TV and analyzes it. He's a real lawyer, you know what I mean? And he shows you what's real and what's real law and not. It's cool. He literally did a video where he teared up in it because he was not only is this police brutality thing not enough, watching Trump literally gas a bunch of protesters, then kick a priest out of a church to hold a Bible upside down, he was like, dude, that was like a fucking clown car. It's like a skateboard trick of
You
offending
want to know
people.
an even better part to that? They were even
He did it
shadier.
for a
check this out.
campaign commercial.
No, even better. So the other people that were in the church, one of the other leaders of the church, they actually got Fox to interview them, same time at a different location. They weren't on location; they were multiple blocks away.
That's insane. Because
Like,
all
during this
because he
time-
wanted to do, like, you know, in fucking Jackass when they're all like walking away from the explosions behind him and like the fucking shopping cart and shit.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to do that going through the field of protesters.
Propaganda.
And
He wanted to make propaganda.
It, swear to God, it's like a student film because some kid read 1984 and was just like, the guy from fucking Home Alone 2 becomes president and he just gasses through the field, dude.
No, it seems like they got a kid who got out of North Korea, was a filmmaker, found out that he made propaganda films, and was like, hey, can you make this for us? And he's like, nope, it's
And
gonna
here's
be
the
good.
thing.
It's
This
gonna
is-
be
It's
good.
like, it's literally, you gotta watch it because it looks like a rap video for white supremacists.
Yeah.
Like it's like Donald Trump walking with SWAT team behind him, like dabbing and shit as they fucking like kick hippies in the fucking throat. Like,
No, dude, it wouldn't even surprise me if behind the scenes he's sitting there and he's like, everybody's talking about me. And you're just like, what? No, this isn't the goal, Donald. Like, dude, what'd he say? Today's going to be a huge day for social media and fairness. What about people? What about American citizens?
can
And
you
you're like,
imagine that he thinks that his beef with Twitter is the news cycle right now? Oh, I gotta add that to my list of things that happened this year. It's still not that important, but like it's on there.
dude,
He really does. It's exactly what he does. He thinks he's the center of everything.
I'm not even trying. I don't even like to get political. And it's not. It doesn't even feel like political.
This
It
isn't
feels like
politics
human
anymore.
rights. It just feels like human rights. So at the
It
same
is.
time that it's human rights, and again, I know we're three straight white guys. I know we're three straight white guys talking about this.
I wish that
I
podcast
know.
name wasn't taken.
I know, of course, but nobody gives a fuck what we have to say, and I get that in some capacity, but also what we say is very important in another capacity. But at the same time, here's what I have to say. It's him versus a pedophile with dementia. There's no good candidates. I don't know what to do.
All right.
Give me Andrew Yang. He wants to give us universal income, and at a time like right now that says, give me money, give me some money.
And he's boys with Shane Gillis, dude.
Dude, I like
He's
that.
boys with Shanny G.
Dude,
Yo,
you take a
no,
joke,
all right.
Shane G.
Dude.
Terrible nickname for him. I don't know. Nobody calls him Shane G. For
Never
good
again.
reasons.
Sorry, Shane.
It makes it sound like we're
Sorry.
boys or like we've never met. One of the two.
The Y at the end. We need like
No,
a Billy
so-
Tommy.
So I've been given this spiel for a while now that people think that compromise is both people like coming to an agreement of some of the stuff they want, but it's not. A compromise is about the other person not getting anything they want. And so we're just in a situation now where the right wants to compromise, aka have like, you know, everyone else not get what they want. But the thing that they want is human rights. So like there is no compromising. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Well, somebody said that too. They were like, it's just like somebody put up, oh, it's a shame that they killed a black man, but let's not go and destroy the town. And people went, no. It's a shame that they're destroying the town. Let's not kill black people. Like, you're putting an emphasis on the wrong thing. Like, it's a shame that black guy died, but let's not hope these things get graffitied. No. It's okay if it gets graffitied. It's not a big deal. That's not the main concern. You know what I mean? Like, people just,
you're not a body with a
Here's my
soul,
thing.
you're a soul with a body,
Here's my thing.
Geoff.
If you're a racist, I have to imagine that you think your dad has never been wrong. Like, you have to think.
That's true.
You have to think that everything my daddy told me. The only reason you're not born racist. You know what I mean? You have to be raised that way. So if you're sitting there going like, well, my daddy told me. Hey, asshole hick. When your daddy told you 2 + 2 = 5, maybe you should have thought for yourself. Maybe you were like, maybe my dad's not the smartest motherfucker in the world and his political views aren't accurate. You know what I mean? Like, just, you have to be so stubborn that you're like my parents are never wrong. My parents were never wrong. My grandfather was never wrong. Like that's all just you being like older people are never incorrect.
Yeah, you're 100% right. You're raised that way. You're not born racist unless your pregnant mom like fucked a black dude and it was like jabbing you in the face. Like that's a whole different story.
Even then, you might know how to take it.
You might
just know how to take it.
Yeah,
you got an inside view.
Might be a hero of yours, actually.
You pop out of the pussy, fuck your dick, like, oh man,
dude,
that's not what I was shown.
There's no reason, because innocent, dude. You see like kids playing all the time. My best friend growing up, before he moved away, before I was super close with Pat and stuff like that. My best friend, Devontae Johnson, and that dude is my boy till I die. He's how I learned how to draw. We fucking watch Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z together every single day. We watched Pokemon. We were best friends. We fought one time. He won definitely, but we're still super cool. We don't talk anymore. But he was my best friend.
Sound like the guy from Get Out in that. You're like, yeah, no, he was just way more athletic than me. Way more athletic than me.
Dude,
shame to see him go. He moved away. No one knows where he went.
Dude, he moved away and it sucked, but like that dude was like fucking part of the family. Like he went home with the Colelas after school. That's just what it was. Like he came to my house after school. His parents were
just picturing your dad whip up in the fucking I guess SUV probably, knowing the Colelas.
We had a minivan at one point.
Yeah, all right,
totally
there it is.
Minivan there.
Pickup truck guy. My dad was a pickup truck guy until he went to his like luxury cars that now he drives around in. But like he was a pickup truck guy for a bit.
Oh man, I can see your dad in a Sebring, dude. I can see your dad in a Sebring.
Nah, he's not a Sebring.
Was he a Ram guy? He was a Ram
he's
guy?
He's a Mercury guy. No, he's not a Ram. No. Okay, so you would think like, like Chevy Silverados, like those big ones. No, dude, we had the pickup trucks where it was like push the seats forward, so you had to like hop in the back.
Oh no!
Like, is this a coupe?
You had one of the pickup trucks that fits in the bed of your real pickup truck.
Yeah, like there was no back seat, but some dude was like, "What about the kids?" And they were like, yeah, I don't know. There's no the seatbelts are terrible back here, and
like kids crawl under the seats.
You got like the
pretend
like the
there's a monster.
Little slide window on the back is like this big. You're like, it's not really even really. I don't feel. Are we in a toy? Is this a toy truck? Like, dude, that's what you get when your dad works at Blockbuster. He's like, I got a 6 salary, a Blockbuster salary, dude. A lot of rent. But dude, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
dude. That's why he had to have the pickup, dude, to fill with tapes.
Dude, my dad walked.
Oh man.
Way too many movies. But yeah, not to get too political and stuff like that, but just the world is fucking nuts right now, dude. Like tornado warnings and shit, power outages today. I mean, I literally drove from the turnpike from North Jersey down to South Jersey today during the storms earlier. Like that was like I was just driving on the turnpike like, well, nothing's good. Nothing's good. Nothing's positive about right now. Like nothing good's going to happen. I either get home safe, which was expected, or everything falls apart.
It's like if every tweet about Trump came to life. Like,
yeah, dude, yeah. So what did somebody share? They were like, "You've just entered like fucking level 7 of Jumanji or something." I also saw
that's kind of scary accurate.
I saw somebody was like like all the current months, right? Like of what we've been through so far, like Kobe died, UFOs, pandemic, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then it just said, "You are here." And then it just had like a list of more fictional things that would be coming up, and you're just like, it's not even surprising. It's not even. I saw a thing. It was like a scientist just entered a cave that's been sealed for 1 million years and discovered like 18 new creatures. And underneath the first comment was, "Close that shit back up, dog. This ain't the year." And I was like, that's a great comment, and that's a great comment.
Dude, if I find out I'm in someone's fucking Truman Show right now, I'm gonna be so fucking mad.
Dude, I've always thought. I actually, as a kid, I always like wondered that. Like before I even saw the Matrix movies and stuff, I'm like, is everybody designed just to be in my life? Like, is everybody just designed to be in my life right now, and that's why I'm the only one that can remember and have this consciousness? Isn't that a fucked up weird thought for a kid to have?
I mean, yeah. But I'm with you though. I stopped playing with action figures when I realized that my favorite one always won because I was in control.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I actually loved action figures, and I was the kid that, like, if I was playing with somebody else, would tell that kid what his character was going to be doing. And one day,
No, same, yeah.
I had to realize that one day, and I was like, "Hey, you know, you don't have to like listen to me, right? Like, you could do whatever you want with your guys." And then as soon as you started not listening to me, I was like, "This was a mistake. You're not playing. You're not playing right."
I used to make my brother a Yu-Gi-Oh deck and give it to him to play with, and then win every time.
No, I thought like you gave him a shitty deck.
Yeah. I made the one I wanted, and then I gave him all the rest of the cards.
It's super weird. I have 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons. I have no shuffling. All right.
Here I am, 6 eyes. There you are, blind. What's going on with that,
dude? See, I only was into Yu-Gi-Oh. I never got
Blue Eyes White Dragons. Hang on, is that a racial thing? The Grand Dragon's the head of the fucking KKK.
And then what? The Red Eyes Black Dragon? You're saying the Black Dragon? Why does he have to have red eyes?
No, I don't know. I wasn't even thinking about that.
What are you trying? I don't know what you're getting at here.
I don't know. Like, isn't that like a blonde hair, blue eyes thing? Is that like an Aryan dragon? Is that just a racist dragon?
Dude, racist dragons scare me.
I know Kaiba was supposed to be Japanese, but he had a distinctly racist vibe to him.
I was going to say, just a heads up, I know we just said racist dragon, and it feels like that should be the title of the episode. I don't think it should be the title of the episode. I really don't think it should be the title of the episode, even though normally it would be a sick title.
Oh, man.
That's fucking funny as shit. Dude, my buddy plays, like, Magic and shit. I've never played that. I don't even know what that's about in comparison. Like, I never played any other, like, card games like that were, like, battle-oriented for nerds, but I did do Yu-Gi-Oh! And that was the extent of what I got to. Were you ever a D&D guy or anything like that?
I've told you this before. I think we played D&D in high school, but it was sick because we were potheads, and my buddy was like trained in many martial arts and like a lot of different weapons. So we would play through our turns and smoke pot and talk it out, and then he would literally get up and act out all the fight scenes that just happened. Like It was like fucking fire. So it was like watching a fucking fantasy action movie. Like I remember we were playing Star Wars D&D, and I was like, all right, I used my force push, and he was like, all right, I got that. But then when it came time for him to act it out, he was like, you force push off of this wall, kicking off the next one and doing a spiral flip through the air as you slice through his head. And like he literally kicked off walls and did that, and I was like, D&D is sick, man.
Dude, anybody who can match your creativity and imagination as a kid, when you're like, yeah, I mean, my character actually wouldn't like that stuff because he's an archer, but he also has like this kind of dark side because his dad hated him or something. And then you're just sitting there and you're like, yeah, exactly. And then you force pushed off the wall and you're like, do you get me? Do you get me? Dude, I remember, I swear to God, Eddie. Dude,
as
Eddie
you force push off the wall,
Eddie,
you whisper, fuck you, dad.
And you're just like, yeah.
Force push your father.
Force push your father.
You awaken, like, your Jedi powers awaken. You force push your stepfather out of the way. You said, I'm going to the mall with my friends.
If you accidentally were fucking, like, if you were just a piece of shit and you were fucking this like woman who was gonna push out a Jedi one day, and then you're just sitting there and you're like, I'm just gonna beat up this old lady, and then they're like, no, Dad, don't do it, and just like shoves her, and you're like, oh damn, dude, this is what like
it's like Harry Potter but with Jedis.
Exactly. You were the stepping stone to this dude's fucking hero's journey. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't even know he had this power until he had to save his first life, his mother's, because you were an abusive father. Like, do you know what I mean? There'd be a sick fucking, to just be the dad in the hero journey story who was like the cause of all this. You're like, man, what a shitty role you had.
Dude, in this episode, you've talked about yourself with superpowers. You've talked about fucking this shit now, like Star Wars kids. I think you just want superpowers, dude.
I literally, more than anything in the whole world. More than anything in the whole world. I was talking about it with Aaron earlier. I was like, My Hero Academia is cool because it'll give you basically, other than Todoroki, you'll get like one power. And it's like, you know, it's not like, oh, dude, what's your superhero? And you're like, well, I have laser vision, and I can freeze things with my breath, and I can fly, and I'm super strong. And you're like, okay, hold on a second.
Dude, but comic books were creative when they started because no one had those ideas. But now we have it like in our heads that there's like 6 different, like if you ask someone to name superpowers, there's like 6 that they think of. They're like, dude, flying, strong, invisible, lasers. Like,
dude, I know that Marvel is like the especially in movies and film and stuff like that, and with exposure as well, Marvel's been bigger and better than DC in a lot of regards as of late. But trying to pitch the superpowers of the Avengers to Aaron, I will say, was way tougher than it should have been.
Really?
Because do you
How'd
know
you do
why?
this?
Okay, because here's the thing. A lot of heroes rely on their hand-to-hand combat, right? Like they're like, well, they're really like Batman's really good in hand-to-hand combat, right? Like for example, and you're like, okay, that's good. That's not a sick power though. Like Erin's like, I don't want to just be like I was telling her about All Might. She's like, yeah, the guy who's just stronger than everybody just cause. I don't want to be that
It's
person. And I
boring.
was like, definitely agreed. Like One Punch Man, like it's a boring.
Well, All Might's cool though because it's
But-
passed down.
Absolutely. But you know what I'm saying? Like the generic
Yeah.
of like you're just powerful. I'm like, here's the deal. Iron Man, he's like a rich guy. He's got like a robotic suit, and that's super sick. But he's like super smart. Captain America, was like genetically altered, but he was like pretty strong and he's pretty good at fighting. And he's got a cool shield.
He's
So
good
that's
at
cool.
geometry. He's really good at geometry.
Yeah, so you're like, yeah, but he's
But
like
only geometry.
You're like, so what does he do other than the shield? You're like, well, punches and kicks and stuff. He's really good at punching and kicking. And like, cool, what's Black Widow do? You're like, acrobatic punching and kicking. And you're like, cool, what's the Hulk do? You're like, get mad and then punches and kicks you. And you're like, well, man, they're really relying a lot on hand-to-hand combat. They rely a lot on hand-to-hand. Well, Jeremy Renner, he's an archer. But I guess if he didn't have the cool arrows, it would probably be a hand-to-hand combat thing. And then, god damn,
dude, that illustrates
cool.
how overpowered fucking guns are. That when a superhero's thing is guns, that's all they have, dude.
Yeah,
that's guns are too OP, dude.
Deathstroke, dude. They're like, listen, he's got all of them. You're like, really? You're like, yeah, got a sniper somehow. I don't know.
Right.
Awesome.
The only other thing that they'll have is they'll have swords. Even Deathstroke, and Deadpool.
Yeah.
It's almost like Deadpool's like the goodish version of Deathstroke.
Exactly. And then you're like, they're really good in hand-to-hand combat. You're
Yeah.
you're like, God, not a lot of powers. Not a lot of like.
I know this
like,
isn't
powers. You know what I mean?
I know this isn't actually true about Deadpool, but I feel like they were just like, all right, what about a superpower where he can't get hurt and he regenerates? And they're like, okay, how does he use that to stop anything? And it's like, well, I mean, he doesn't go away. He's very persistent.
He's good in hand-to-hand combat. Dude, it's just it is what will be, you know,
because you can't, because guns and swords and shit, you can't like.
What makes Deadpool and Wolverine different? Well, I regenerate and I have swords in my hands. Well, I regenerate and I got swords on my back, dog. And you're like, okay, yeah, I don't know. And what? And then one of us is better in hand-to-hand combat? Like, I don't
Wolverine's
understand.
Short.
That doesn't mean anything.
And old.
Okay?
Which is why you'd play a young him, because he's hundreds of years old. So you looking 40 is perfect, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I'd be really good. I'm retiring soon, actually, fellas. No, not from hero work. From the whole mill.
You know, it's actually kind of a shame. They announced that fucking Kit Harington is going to play the Black Knight they're going to do a Marvel series about it. Yo, can we see him in a different role, please?
No. Guess what? I also watched that movie that he's in Pompeii. Same shit.
Yeah. Instead of saying like she's my queen, he's like she's my volcano. Like fucking chill, dude.
He played the same character in
She's my volcano?
Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Just a space version. Just literally a space version of he's the same dude. I'm not happy about it.
I don't know. It's like one of those things where I'm like, all right, well, like I feel like there's so many while describing and trying to tell Erin good superhero powers, I swear on my life, I had to sit and go, you know who's a good example of powers? The Teen Titans. I was like, there we go. Robin, disregard him. Cyborg, half robot, half person. He's got cool stuff. But Beast Boy can turn into animals, and then there's an alien chick, and then there's a girl who's into like darkness and uses like black magic, and you're like, that's actually
Cyborg is literally. Oh wait, go ahead, sorry.
No, I was like, it's the best. The best powers I can give you is alien chick and black magic girl and guy who can turn into an animal. And Aaron's first comment was, "That would suck to turn into a bunny and just die." And you're like, well, that's a good point. I guess you have to turn into the right ones, you know? Like
that's actually a huge risk he takes every time he changes small for agility, dude.
Dude, he's just sitting there. Real Hawk comes out. He's like, get off me, motherfucker. Do a Hawk as well and just try to fuck him up in the sky. Like
that's great.
It seems like a lot. Like it was real hard to sell some of these powers, man.
No, because when you put them next to each other. when they're next to each other, it's problematic because you're making me realize that Cyborg is just if Batman's gadgets used to play football.
Yeah, and it was in his body already. Like that's all.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. Like it's a lot of similarities, and then being like, but who can block and punch who at the right time? And you're like, I don't know.
It's balance.
Do you know what Aaron said too? This is so actually super funny because I was like, well, Robin doesn't count because if we're talking about guys who are just there to be hand-to-hand combat, I mean, talk about the sidekick of the guy who does hand-to-hand combat. Like you just do hand-to-hand combat, but worse in like shorter underwear or something. And Aaron's like, I never knew what Robin did. I always thought he just like drove or something. I was like, it's sick that you thought Robin's power was being Alfred. Just like, oh, I thought he was just there for you, like just to.
Batman's cars like drive themselves.
I know. But dude, it's so sick to be like, I thought he was just Batman's chauffeur. Like,
oh, dude, I thought he was just like emotional support. Like Batman gets back in the car, and Robin's like, "Tough day, bud. You want to talk about it?"
Do you know what I actually was super into for a while? Because a lot of Batman rumors are like annoying at times when they're, you know, they want to do a Ben Affleck one again, and now the Robert Pattinson one, which is interesting. But I actually, before they were doing the rumor about Batman Beyond, and they were going to do a Batman Beyond movie and do Jake Gyllenhaal, I was actually super
would have liked
into
that
it.
a lot.
I
would have been really cool.
Super into that. And then they were like, instead, it's Team Edward doing it. And I was like, I actually still don't hate that. I don't think he's a bad choice for it. But to do the Batman Beyond route and stuff like that, I was super into that. Like,
yeah, that would have been
have
super hype.
Because Ben Affleck's definitely like the older-ish Batman, but the Bruce Wayne in Batman Beyond is way older. You know what I mean? Like you're talking about next-gen Batman. I'm looking forward to when they're able to do that.
I agree. It's almost like being done with 2020 and just being like, yo, honestly, you guys have fun with that. I will see you when things get good.
Exactly.
No, dude, I'm sorry. I keep harping on this now, but you got it in my head. We should do a superhero series where there's like a really dark superhero, like a really dark Batman Punisher type, and his sidekick is his therapist. And it would just be you going around like fucking getting in these battles, and then me making you like talk about your feelings about it.
Like right afterwards, I'm like, oh, I wish I did not do that. And you're like, that's good. And then somebody else comes out and I fucking kill that person too. And I'm like, I did it again. Just like, oh. I will say,
it's just you as Batman. Robin can't make it, and his therapist fills in for a ride along.
I almost feel like nobody can touch fucking one of the best things that Pete Holmes could have ever done, dude. I think Badman's so good. I think it's so funny, and just even like the Patton Oswalt one with Penguin when he's like, I thought you didn't kill anybody. He's like, I don't. He's just really tuckered out, and he's just like shoots somebody, and he's like, he's sleeping. He's just like Batman being like, I don't kill people. Dude, those are great sketches. But I've always said we already have them.
Dude, that's literally the police now. That's literally the police right now. Batman. Just
yeah. Dude, what's crazy to me is you'll see like a cop just do something where you're like, do you not have Twitter? They all have cameras, dog. Like when he does something where I'm like, you gotta know that everyone's watching you. You gotta know. Even if you're not a good cop, if you're a bad cop, you really just kind of have to hide it for a day or, you know, a week or so. Like, just don't like rob a jewelry store randomly. Don't fucking,
dude,
hit somebody in the face with a brick.
I don't think they realize that they're bad cops. They don't even realize it at a certain point. And that's why all right, this is kind of a meme opinion, but I kind of think that like maybe we should dose cops with LSD just once, because that like it might help them with empathy. It might help them with self-awareness. It might weed out mental issues. Like you fucking go crazy from it. Guess what? You're probably not fit to serve. Evan shook his head. He didn't like this take.
I don't like that at all, because I am assuming the worst, honestly, especially that last point that you made there. We do know that the police force, part of the reason why it's not as good as it could be, at least in my opinion, kind of seems like because the people that are going in aren't of the right state of mind in the beginning because of the power fantasy. Because of the other stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't think LSD, especially the fact that it is one of, out of the drugs and stuff like that, one of the most selfish drugs, because every time I've ever done it, I want to be alone as fuck. And that's when I
Really?
get to become, get to know
The
myself the
opposite.
best. But even the times that I am with other people, I still try to learn about myself more.
Right.
Than as if I'm, a mushroom or something like that.
See, I do that on shrooms.
So
I'm the opposite. It's interesting.
yeah, I mean, at least me
I do that
personally.
for for me when I do shrooms. Like I'm always trying to I like go into it wanting a takeaway. I want to take something different where I'm like, oh yeah, I've developed an awareness for this thing about myself, or analyzing things in a
feel
way where
that.
I'm like, and I like to do that on.
But hey,
but no,
either
no,
which
that
way,
if it
I
works,
don't want to
the other
give.
way.
I don't want
I'm
to
not
give
saying
these
ghost them
motherfuckers
and
that.
send them to work. I'm not saying like, all right, your first shift on the job, fucking
I don't
take
want
this.
them. I don't want them to have any kind of eye-opening experience that might change their. If their mindset's already fucked to the beginning, it's not going to just go good.
Yeah, but
But
then that's
the
the risk
mind
of applying
usually-
to be a cop. If you don't pass the psychedelics part of the exam, then guess what? We put a tab on you as someone who's mentally unstable. You shouldn't have fucking tried out for the play if you didn't want everyone to know you're a bad singer, and you don't get to fucking get a part. Like,
I mean, I still don't agree. Still don't agree. I
see,
wouldn't want to do that. Don't
I
do
mean,
that.
I don't fully agree. I'm
All right,
not
do it.
actually like.
all right, Evan, we're gonna put Rusty's solution against my solution, which my solution is really just Daniel Tosh's solution. But all police officers are black. Boom, solve the problem. If you don't agree with it, you're racist.
I do like
That's
the
what
end
it is,
part. That's the
baby.
best-
And then
that's the best
and
part.
then he says that the softball games would be very interesting. And you're right, they would be. Okay? So I think black cops across the board. I'd
I
actually
mean,
go into that. All the cops that play basketball with the kids, that level just went up a notch. You know what I mean? We're getting
we can rotate the races of the cops every 20 years. Like, then we'll do Latinos, Asians. We'll skip whites for a rotation because they've had enough time.
I agree.
And
We could just be firefighters for the straight 60 years. Just straight all the way through. They're like, what's up? You guys want to do the running in the burning buildings thing? Yeah, let the white people do that shit. Yeah. No, that's your punishment. No. That's your punishment.
make all black people, make all cops black people, make all firefighters white people. That's ridiculous.
Dude, yeah. And then they're just like, yeah, what's up, dude? There is no volunteer firefighters, dude. This is all involuntary firefighting.
Hey, Rusty.
Rusty. Like the Korean military, they sentence you to your mandatory 2 years of running into the blaze.
I'm going back to. I like Rusty's. Real good idea. That was a really good idea, Rusty.
Yeah, you think so? Which one?
Yeah. You're. I don't even remember anymore, but way
LSD.
better.
Acid cops?
Yeah. The acid cop idea.
Better than let only cops be black guys. I think that's sick, dude. Who wants a white cop? I don't.
Oh wait, I like that wording. Let only cops be black guys. Like, oh, you want to be black?
All right, well, I guess
no.
you want to be a girl, you can be it too. But you know what I mean? Like, I didn't mean it like that. I'm just saying I think it's a hilarious solution because it's just one of those things where, again, it's like a trap when you're just like, well, that's not fair. Why
Or
not?
is it?
Why not?
Kill
Why
all
can't-
masters,
You
dude.
don't think they can be? And you're like, no, I think they can be. You don't think all of them could just run it by themselves? I definitely do. They're definitely capable of that. And you're like, so what's the problem? What if I wanted to be a police officer? You lost that right. Just like straight up, you're like, yeah, well, I mean, yeah, that's not a fucking option for you, bud. I don't know what to tell you. You see that fucking burning building over there? Why don't you go make yourself useful? Why don't you go make yourself useful and grab a hose?
Serve. You want to serve?
Involuntary firefighters.
Involuntary firefighters, get in there. I'm not really feeling that. Get in there. It just doesn't feel like it's safe.
That'll teach him empathy as well. All right, fine. How about that? If a white dude wants to be a cop, he's got to be a firefighter for like 5 years first.
You want to be a hero? Want to go run in that burning building, or you let that child die? How do you live with yourself? And you're like, this is.
Yo, wait, why
Wait,
isn't there a work your way up to cops? Like, why isn't there like a minor league for cops? Like, you have to prove that you're a selfless human first.
Did you see
And
the
then-
stats? Dude, somebody shared a great one because it was how much training do like police get on in the academy when it comes to like firearm safety, conflict and stuff like that. And it says they get 110 hours of firearm training and physical training, and they only get about 10 hours on conflict resolution. And then somebody put up what it takes to become a hairdresser, and they were like 15 like 150 hours of this and 300 hours of this, and there's 1,000 hours of this, and you're like, God damn, dude, the hairdressers are more trained than the police officers.
They're essential, dude.
Dude,
Get the cops off the street. Get me in my fucking barber shop.
If anything, I think we should cut down the hours on the hairdresser stuff. I don't think it's that important.
I think that we should just make the hairdressers cops. And then while you're getting your ticket, you get a quick little trim and do a shave.
I will say this. Can I just tell you guys my favorite part of the Drew Brees backlash? Because it is a bummer. I really like Drew Brees, and his comments just sucked. But my favorite thing was one of the replies from another NFL player actually came from Devin McCourty and his brother, because the McCourty brothers share a Twitter. They're twins.
Like a white couple?
Dude, they're like best friends. It's
their
the funniest
handle
fucking
is
thing.
like McCourty Bros, which means they each just have access to the account. And I swear to God, I was like, I think the most surprising thing about this Drew Brees backlash is finding out the McCourty brothers share a Twitter. Is anybody else getting this? Like, why don't you guys have some individuality, boys? Like, you guys don't have. I don't know.
Do you think they had to agree on a response, or did they post two separate ones?
It's almost like they were
Patriots now.
I think so.
I think they both play on the same team,
which makes it even more confusing because they're identical twins.
Yeah.
But imagine just sitting there and being like, "Here's the deal. I said this. He said that. It doesn't matter who said what because most people confuse us anyway. So why don't we just become the same person?"
They're a hive mind. They speak in unison at the same exact time.
They just
like,
split before games and then go and take their own positions on the field, and that's it. That's the only time they're ever separate.
It's the Parent Trap with them and Bill Belichick.
That's actually awesome. And Bill Belichick is just grumpy, and then in like another poster, it's just him also looking grumpy, but they're like feel good movie of the year. Dude, I don't know, man. I think it's hilarious. Others fucking share Twitter. I just think that's like the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. Just have some individual. What are you gonna do? You have to sign your name? Like, oh, dude, it was hot today, Devin. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? Like, I was like, man, it was hot. It was, I can't even think of the other McCourty brothers' name right now. Devin and
Dexter.
No,
I think so. No.
I would. Put
No. You're right. You're right.
Was that a left field guess?
No, I'm having a brain fart. There you go. Hold on.
Devin and Kevin. Devin and Kevin.
Devin and Dexter. It's almost like
Jason.
That was all right. That was great. It's almost like I threw a Hail Mary. Dexter. But confident as shit. Evan, I actually love that because it's how I approach every situation I've ever been in. I absolutely act like I'm an expert in the situation, throw a Hail Mary out there, and wait for someone to call me out. That's literally my whole
Kobe.
My barber just texted me. I have to read this because I can only imagine what he just sent me. Hold on. Let's say Alan message. It's a video. Hold on. God, this is
That's a great way to wrap up. With a mystery video from your crazy barber. Conspiracy theorist.
No.
When we did a really good job being sensitive to a lot of issues. You're just going to toss us into this abyss.
Wow. All right. Nice, Alan. Okay, I thought it was going to be like a crazy scenario paranoia thing. He actually just sent me a video of him DMing the game. And the game's like, yeah, dude, send me your music. I'll push it on my new series. And I was like, I mean, that's super cool. I was not expecting you to be DMing the game right now. So
damn, dude. A little light in the darkness here. A little light in the darkness.
I guess so. I mean, Alan, you can get a deal, brother. I love Alan with all my heart. I do not like the theme of his podcast. His theme of his podcast is if you're from New Jersey, you could be on the podcast. I was like, I don't like those qualifications. You're really cutting out a large chunk of people, and you're really only accepting a lot of local people, and I don't think we're the best. If you're from New Jersey, you're on my podcast. And like, it's like, can Rusty be on? Can Bon Jovi be on? He's the only person that could probably be on, really. Probably just Bon Jovi. That's who could be on my podcast.
God, imagine like Googling celebrities from New Jersey, just planning to have them on eventually.
Dude, what do I even respond to that, dude? Like, that's fresh. It's like, I don't even know. Like, dude.
Is that what the kids say now? Is that's fresh? Is that's come back?
No. That's what I say.
You should message the game and say, don't you have more important things to worry about?
Dude, have
All right,
him
and
have him hop on a sketch with me. You know what I mean? Like,
say
I don't even
something funny to take us out, dude. Something funny or something heartfelt.
who, me?
Yeah.
Something funny or something heartfelt? Oh, geez. Okay, hold on. Let me think about this for a second here. Okay, something.
All right, so we're
funny
not
or
going with
heartfelt.
heartfelt if you're thinking about it. So
I think of something funny that happened to me. I mentioned. Okay, I got this. So Evan, I don't know if I mentioned this to you. I think Rusty knows about it. So my brother Scotty was sent to the hospital the other day, and he sent me a Snapchat of him in the hospital. No idea he was in the hospital, right? And it's just him. And he's got a mask over his face, and it's bleeding. And he's like, I can't type to you, it hurts, I have to FaceTime you. And I'm like, oh my goodness, dude, like what the fuck happened? And
you
he's like,
protesting? What's going on, bud? Were you outside of Target with a bat?
Yeah, dude, his lip was fucking hella cut. His fucking tooth was like hanging out of his mouth. He basically like broke and then broke a wrist, sprained another wrist. And I was like, dude, what the fuck happened to you? And he's like, dude, some dude tried to dunk on me. And he took my legs out when I went up for the block, and I landed on my face on the concrete because it was on an outdoor court. And dude, I was like, you gotta change that story. You gotta change that story, dude. You can't tell people you got postered and sent to the hospital because he broke your face.
No, he might as well be dead. He might as well be dead right now.
And
he
he
might as well be
goes,
dead right now.
do you know, Evan, are you ready for how well this kid took it on the chin? The first thing I said to him originally, after he Snapchatted me, was I go, dude, what the fuck happened? He went, I thought I was a big dog. That's what happened. And I just go, what? And he goes, thought I went hard in the paint. Kid took my soul. And I just messaged him back, I don't know what's happening. Did you get beat up in basketball? I don't know what's going on. And then this whole time he told me this story, I'm like, damn, dude, that's real rough, dude. You were playing in Jericho. Like, you know, dude, you know, it's fucking, you gotta be careful. A lot of those guys fucking ball there. Like, it's not a game to them. Like, they ball. And
Dude.
he goes, wait, ready? He goes, made me so mad. It was a white kid too. I went, you got dunked on by a white kid? And he goes, dude, straight up suburbs. And I went, fuck, dude, you gotta change this story. But he can't now.
You can't let that happen.
He did say he confirmed with his friends because he pretty much had a concussion at the time. They said the ball didn't go in though. But regardless, you got bodied enough that you ate. Just because they couldn't get the job done doesn't mean you didn't get bodied. And I just respect the fact that in the midst of me being like, dude, are you in the hospital? He's like, thought I went hard in the paint.
Here's my first question though.
Not a big dog.
How tall is he? How tall?
Than me. So he's
what?
5'11".
Oh, so he's my size, a little bit shorter. He's probably my size.
Actually, right? I'll tell you this though. He weighs, I think, 150.
So he literally is my size. I weigh about 150.
Yeah, he's like 20. He's 19 years old. He's 150 pounds, and he's like 5'10", 5'11".
Yeah, I used to play basketball. Don't jump up unless you're on the outside. If I'm closer than 8 feet to the rim, I'm not jumping.
Dude,
I'm not jumping for blocks. You're going to hurt me.
They had to pull his tooth, so now he has like a fucking pull-in tooth right now.
He's gonna have to get it screwed in. Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Yo,
damn,
what this made me realize.
Suburban kid.
So, dude, fucking Tanner dunked on him, bro. It's not good.
This made me realize that that's the only apology that we as Americans will accept from Donald Trump at this point. If he took the stage and he was like, I'm gonna be real, I thought I was a big dog. I thought I went hard in the paint. Like I would listen. I would hear him out because at least that way I know that it's coming from a real place. You know what I mean?
Imagine he's got ready for this. Imagine his Secret Service are with him, right? 2 of the guys are black. One of the guys randomly, because he has his hands behind his back, as Trump's walking off, pulls out one of those plastic basketball nets. The other guy comes up and yams it right over Donald Trump, like there's like pranks that people do like in the mall and stuff, and they just yam on Trump, and we're like, that guy's the new president, because that's how you win elections. Just dunks on him, you go, that's the new president. You know, that was a fucking trial by combat, dude, and you're dead. You're fucking out of here, dude.
So as crazy as that sounds, I think that would go over well.
I think it would too.
Really well.
I think it would go over super well. And I think that if Joe Biden could dunk, people would really overlook the fact that he's a pedophile with dementia.
I think that there's enough things with camera angles, we could make it look like he did it.
I don't think anyone believes that Joe Biden has hops.
Plastic. Net.
It's just such a bummer. 'Cause Joe Biden seems so cool as the Robin to Barack's Batman. He seemed just like a cool VP. And then
Yeah.
as soon as he tried to become Batman, people were like, "Weren't you Robin?"
Now,
you know what I mean? Like, weren't you Robin?
I know that Barack was the president, and I know I said Robin wasn't a chauffeur, but I could see Joe Biden driving Obama around
Joe
just for fun.
Joe
Just for
Biden
fun.
actually might have been Barack's Alfred. That just might have been what his role was there. Just to be like, here's the deal. I'll drive you there. I have nothing to do. I'm running Delaware. It could run itself. I'll fucking just take you anywhere you need to go. You want to play basketball? I know some guys. You know what I mean? Like, he's just like, I know people. Whatever you need to do.
I feel like Joe is just the guy who, in like retrospect, Joe is just the guy who like showed up to all of Obama's meetings, and he was like, "Well, we can't not include him. Fuck, dude." He brought snacks to every single one.
Dude, fucking bonkers, dude. I'm just saying, let's just open. If we just had like an all-star game or like a Pro Bowl skills competition for the president of the United States, that way we knew that the president of the United States was not going to be no bitch. And like The Rock just shows up, he's like, "I'm the fucking new president." And you're like, yes, that's what we were looking for.
Dude,
I bet you our president can beat your fucking president up, dude. Let's go.
I hope that a messiah rises from these protests. We could do this right now. We can go full Mad Max here. Challenge for the dome.
Dude, it is
The Trumpster dome, dude.
You know what sucks? You know what really sucks, and what makes me the angriest of everything that's kind of happened in 2020 so far, besides the fucking police brutality, because like that's a way more serious like human.
Yeah, that's just not 2020. That's like
2020.
that is our whole existence.
Exactly.
We've been in that. We've only even known that we were in it for the past like 10 years, 5 years. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So take that out for a second, but it feels like the most annoying thing about this was that on New Year's Day, Robert goes, 2020 is going to be a shitty year, dude. I can feel it. I'm like, yeah, right, dude. 2020 is going to be sick. And it just makes me mad that I was like so wrong. Like I said to be like, dude, 2020 is going to be a sick year. And it has not been a sick year at all.
Dude, Mad Dog 2020 was not a drink. That was a prophecy, dude. 2020 is going to be crazy.
The only thing, dude, oh my goodness. Like, again, it almost comes to one of those things where they were like, what's going to happen today? And someone was like, Drew Brees is going to get canceled. And you're like, not Drew. What? Everybody likes Drew. Everybody loves
that
him.
comes back to the kill the masters thing, dude. Like, yo, it is literally like those fucking captcha, like click all the fucking stoplight things where it's like, yo, dude, if you can't be a robot for this fucking month and say the right fucking words, then you're done, dude.
Yeah.
It's the fucking click the stoplights, dude. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. I did want to say this. This is so fucking stupid. I've typed Black Lives Matter a bunch this week, and every time I do it on Facebook, it thinks I'm trying to tag Jake Matera. And 4 times now, I've almost sent a post that said Black Lives Matera with Jake Matera.
That's actually super funny.
I messaged him about it today, and he was like, thank God it wasn't all Lives Matera.
Dude, I like that a lot. I like that a lot, actually. Dude, I saw somebody put up a thing, and it was like, I don't know what it was. Like, it was definitely somebody trying to defend, it was like a celebrity or athlete trying to defend, you know, he's like, Black Lives Matter, and then you had all those fucking, like, terrible comments that are like, actually, all lives matter? And you're like, okay, yeah, we get it. Shut the fuck up. That's not the point. And he went to like defend, like, no. What you're saying is stupid. But I think he let off the argument so dumb. He was just like, that's so stupid. That's like saying all muscles matter. And I was just like, I'm sorry.
I just muted. The camera might have picked that up.
I remember like thinking, like, do you only think that black muscles matter? Like, I don't know what that point was. Like, what was your point to that? Like, you think, yeah, right. It's just like all muscles matter. I only use my fucking biceps. And you're like, okay, I remember just looking at it being like, God, I mean, he's on the right side. He's just not a good representation of what we're trying to do here. Like,
all lives matter is literally if somebody called infinity and you called infinity +1. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like the name isn't.
No, it's like if you told your mom that they said infinity and then you said infinity +1, but still told your mom anyway. And you're like, it's not fair that I don't get to do it. And you're like, no. Not the same thing. He said it. You're saying something different, and yours is going against what his is saying. You have an opposition, and I think that's the key thing. What you're saying doesn't matter. You're opposing what they're saying, and we agree with what they're saying.
Yo, this goes back to talking about acid being a narcissist drug, talking about all this stuff. Like, being stupid is a drug. That's why stupid people don't need drugs. That's why stupid people ruin their lives with drugs, and why smart people can fucking open their brains with them. You know what I mean? Because there's something to open. These fucking stupid ass motherfuckers, they literally just, and this point's done to death now that I'm making it, but like they hear Black Lives Matter and they say, I'm not black, but I matter. Like it's because you're dumb that you can't process.
Why do only black people matter? And you're like, that's not, no one said only Black Lives Matter.
Dude,
that's not part
I'm
of
bringing
it.
back my old fucking strategy, dude. I think we just need to mail everybody in America a different colored jersey, and that's your new team. No more races. Your red team, your blue team, your black team. Like fucking.
I actually, when you try to make this a joke, I actually really like the premise of this whole thing. So I do think you should rework on it, because it might have some growing pains, but it could be funny. It might have some growing pains.
Hey, so does America right now. What are we at, Ev? Fucking growing pains. Take us out.
Oh goodness, gosh, you
Like
don't even want to
2.5?
know. You don't even want to know. It's been
Can I guess? Is
3
it-
hours and 40. No, you can actually guess. Please do. I want to know.
Were you really
you
gonna say 3 hours
actually
and 40
just
minutes?
hit something right now. Guess.
I was gonna guess 220, but
No way, not 220. I'm gonna go hour 30.
Woo, we're gonna go a little bit under that. It's an hour and 20 minutes. This has been one
perfect.
of the better sweet heats, except for the fact that fucking world sucks, but we got to talk to each other, which is great.
yeah.
We didn't talk to each other. I apologize.
It was
That's
real.
just
No,
three straight white guys trying to make sense of
Hey,
this, and we.
I
definitely-
think this was a cool episode. I don't like want to like I don't care about the feedback. Obviously, in a time like this, it's not what's important to me. But you know,
it'd be ignorant
this
not
was
to
way
talk
more
about it.
podcasty than normal. This wasn't just 3 guys ripping jokes. This was fucking
Right.
3
It's
guys like
ignorant.
actually conversing.
It's ignorant not to talk about. Do you know what I mean? But it's also ignorant to think we have a full grasp of the situation. So
And we don't.
we talked about it at an extreme surface level.
I hope
I
everybody
think
stays
that's-
safe. If you're
yeah,
out protesting,
stay safe, for
stay
sure.
safe as shit. You know,
Fuck the
I
man,
mean,
dude.
That's
And no
Fuck the
case,
man.
no face, boys. No case, no face. No face, no case. You know what I meant.
yeah,
What does that mean?
both.
No face, no case. They don't see your face. They can't charge you.
By the way,
Yes.
everybody, they do sell those green men suits in every single color. Feel free to wear those. You can see right through them. Just a hint.
For some reason, white is all sold out. I don't know why.
And that way, if you're bootlicker at home, you wear the suit, Photoshop yourself into the protest. Boom, it's like you're there. Green
Exactly.
screens.
Hey,
Exactly.
and Rusty's frozen. This is a
Exactly,
good one.
he is
Peace out,
frozen.
guys.
One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash coming in. Come get your man, this little nigga bugging me. Just need a bag, quit all that jaw jackery. Don't even pass me that, I don't want none of it. These niggas mad about it, had enough of it. Whoa, watch what you saying, how that popping and shaking. Got me hot as a laser.
This has been a DropTent Media production.